Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's debate. My name is Sylvia, and I am the chairman, and Ruby is the timekeeper. The debate will be judged by adjudicator Ms. Boyd Turner. The topic of this debate is that targeted advertisement should be banned. The affirmative team sitting to my right is from St. Columba College, and the negative team from my left is from Concordia College. The speaking time is 4 minutes, and a double bell will ring at the end at 3 minutes. A continuous bell will ring 30 seconds after the final bell. I declare this debate open. I call upon the first affirmative speaker,
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's debate. The topic for this debate is that targeted advertising should be banned. We as the affirmative team wholeheartedly agree with this statement. To start this debate, I'll be defining the key points in this topic. All according to the Oxford Dictionary, we define target as to mark out or identify something or someone as target. Advertisement as the practice of calling one's public attention to one's product, service, or need. Ban as to officially or legally prohibit something. And finally, target audience as the selected segment of population to whom a product is primarily targeted towards. Tonight, as the first speaker, I'll be speaking about stereotypes and child exploitation. Our second speaker, Fogg, will speak about the impact on the vulnerable population and market failure, as well as attention reduction. Our third speaker, Thea, will rebut and solve our team case. Now to my points. My first point is stereotypes. Many targeted advertisements contain subtle stereotypes through color schemes, imagery, and design elements. These exploit pre-existing biases in the viewer's minds. For example, as targeted women often emphasize beauty, fashion, and domestic products, while those aimed at men focus on technology, sports, and finance. These advertisements perpetuate outdated gender roles, which trapping individuals in roles they may not wish to embrace or pursue. Research from the Emerald Insight in 2023 revealed that 22% of women were exposed to ads portraying them in domestic roles, while 25% of men were exposed to ads felt insecure due to unrealistic depictions of masculinity. These statistics highlight the long-lasting negative effects of gender stereotypes on individuals' mindsets. Such ads can significantly damage self-confidence. Furthermore, color plays an extensive role when it comes to stereotypical adverts. Colors such as pink, purple, and yellow are heavily featured in women or girl adverts, while colors such as red, green, and blue are heavily featured in men or boy adverts. A study done by the British Psychological Society in 2022 found that the color stereotypes continue to heavily influence children's preferences for toys and favorite colors. This research took place how boys as young as 3 years old feel uncomfortable choosing toys or favorite colors that are typically associated with girls. Similarly, girls often avoid toys that are deemed for boys due to societal pressures and expectations. If children continue to be exposed to such stereotypical adverts, they will internalize the belief that they should only like certain colors. This will eventually lead to the biased preference that is difficult to break as they grow older. This brings me to my second point, child exploitation. Adverts that are marketed towards children generally contain kids in their advertisement. Children as young as a couple days old are hired by advertising companies to promote diapers, formulas, and cribs. If newborn babies can't think, walk, feed, or dress themselves, do you think that they are fit to be used in an advert? No young child should be forced against their will to be publicly shown in an advertisement. BBC 2023 highlights how child actors can experience anxiety, harsh criticism, and in some cases, depression. This can heavily shatter self-confidence and lead to a negative mindset. Big Australian corporations such as Huggies, Baby Love, and Aptamil have admitted to hiring babies as young as 3 days old. These statistics show the negative side to children being exploited and used for commercial purposes. It raises ethical concerns about their well-being and emotional development, which can potentially impact their mental health in the long run if they grow up doing adverts. This not only goes for young children, but also teenagers who face the negative effects of targeted advertisements. Advertisements targeted towards teenagers are mainly through social media. Teenagers who have been exposed to these adverts can face various negative effects, including issues related to body image, self-esteem, and mental health. Social media platforms often amplify societal pressures and place unrealistic standards on young and undeveloped minds. Joe Biden, the 46th US president, supported this fact earlier this year by expressing his support for the banning of targeted advertisement to minors under 18. He pointed out the rising mental health crisis in teens and how advertising plays a major part. This shows how adverts are one of the leading contributors to the mental health challenges faced by many teenagers today. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the topic that targeted advertising should be banned is undoubtedly true. Targeted advertising exploits stereotypes and vulnerabilities. These adverts place stereotypical gender roles, including color, in young children's minds. This not only shapes how we see ourselves, but it also impacts our mental health. It's clear we need a more ethical advertising practices to promote a healthier societal world that values well-being and happiness. Thank you.
I call upon the first negative speaker, Amelia Murphy.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for debate is that targeted advertising should be banned. We, the Native team, unquestionably believe that this statement is false. Before we begin, we would like to clarify the definition of targeted advertising. According to EDU Global, targeted advertising is a form of online advertising that focuses on the specific traits, interests, and preferences of a consumer. It has nothing to do with personal information like addresses, phone numbers, or bank details. We define ban by the Oxford Dictionary to mean officially or legally prohibiting something. Therefore, we interpret the topic to mean the act of legally prohibiting online advertising that focuses on the specific interest of a consumer. Tonight, as our first speaker, I will be discussing the benefits of targeted advertising and its role in enhancing online experiences. Our second speaker, Ilsa, will focus on its importance for small businesses and how it funds free online platforms. Our third speaker, Lila, will rebut and sum up our team's case. Before I begin, I would like to rebut some obvious flaws in the opposition's case. The opposition's case was based on the age of the people that are in the ads, and this is very off topic, as it is not based on gender or age. Tonight, the affirmative team needs to convince you that targeted advertising causes a problem that is so big that the whole practice needs to be made illegal. As the negative team, we will be pointing out that the problems caused by targeted advertising are minimal, and that in fact, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Now to my first point, which is that targeted advertising is not as bad as people are trying to make it out to be. The main problem that people associate with targeted advertising is that it is based on an invasion of privacy. However, the information they access isn't particularly private. A study published in the Journal of Marketing Research found that over 74% of consumers are aware their online activities are tracked, and most are not concerned about companies knowing their shopping preferences or online behaviour. Our dislikes and likes are not information that most people really care about others knowing. If we didn't want others to know this information, we would have to walk around in disguise. If you turn up to a showdown between the Crows and Port, are you going to be offended if you then pass a poster advertising Crows and Port jumpers? Of course you're not. Online targeted advertising is really not very different to this. Google, Snapchat, and Facebook and Instagram are not your private playgrounds, just as Adelaide Oval isn't. The minute you step onto the street, you're in a public space. A report from the Data and Marketing Association revealed that 83% of consumers are willing to share their data to enable a personalised experience. Now to my second point, that targeted advertisements enhance the personal online experience. When browsing online, it's your experience, and with targeted advertising, this becomes a reflection of your preferences, allowing you to see content which is relevant to your interests. This is what makes it possible to browse online without being bombarded by random advertisements that have no significance to you. Targeted advertisements save time and enhance the online journey. In fact, a study by eMarketer found that 87% of consumers found online personalisation appealing, with 81% being more likely to make a purchase when brands offered a personalised experience. Opt-out methods like advertisement blockers or declining cookies are readily available. When consumers look at terms and conditions, individuals knowingly sign up for this type of advertising, thus making it clear that banning targeted advertising would be a terrible mistake. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, it should be clear that targeted advertising is a system designed to benefit you. Thus, there is no reason to ban this fundamental element of the online experience. Thank you.
I call upon the second affirmative speaker, Afakte.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's debate. The topic for tonight's debate is that targeted advertising should be banned, and as the affirmative team, we wholeheartedly agree with this statement. I'll now present the rebuttals to the opposition's case. The first speaker from the negative team has argued that users give informed consent through terms and conditions when agreeing to targeted ads, and that these documents provide a transparent framework for data use in targeted advertising. This is wrong because terms and conditions are often complex, lengthy, and not easily accessible, making it difficult for users to understand what they're agreeing to. Many consumers do not fully read these documents, with a study by the Queensland University of Technology finding that only 7% of Australians read the terms and conditions when signing up for online services. This low engagement is largely due to the dense legal jargon and overwhelming length of these documents, which can discourage users from fully reviewing them. Tonight I'll be discussing two key points: the impact on vulnerable populations and the broader issue of market failure, as well as attention reduction. Now to my first point. Many people, particularly those who struggle with reading or have English as a second language, rely heavily on image-based ads when making purchasing decisions. These individuals may struggle to understand the written content of these advertisements, leading them to depend more on the visual elements. Advertising companies may exploit this reliance and promote products that may not meet the quality expectations. According to the OECD, 14.1% of Australians have very low literacy levels, and over 40% of the population falls below the literacy levels needed for everyday tasks. These statistics highlight a significant proportion of the population that may have difficulty understanding word-based content, making them more inclined to misleading ads that focus on visual appeal rather than accurate information. Which brings me on to my second point. Targeted advertising demonstrates this failure by underpricing the true value of our attention, leading to an overwhelming influx of ads that burden individuals. As experts from Stanford University noted in 2023, advertisers pay less to capture our attention than what our attention is really worth to us, leading to an excessive amount of advertising that overwhelms individuals. This imbalance encourages advertisers to flood platforms with ads, misusing the low cost of capturing attention. This results in a constant stream of distractions that pull us away from what truly matters, whether it's enjoying a movie or focusing on a very important task. A 2024 report by the World Health Organization, one of the most respected global health authorities, warns us that this relentless barrage of ads not only distracts us, but fundamentally alters our thinking and behavior. We become more hassled, short-tempered, and increasingly isolated as we struggle to cope by withdrawing from the world and each other. Attention, much like a common good, is a restricted source. Just as overfishing drains ocean life, the overuse of targeted advertising drains our mental health and emotions, leading to a social disconnection and a diminished quality of life. In conclusion, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the occurrence of misleading image-based ads and the market failures in advertising highlight serious gap in our current regulations. How long will we stand by while misleading practices continue to exploit the most vulnerable among us? And when will we commit to enacting meaningful improvements? Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for tonight's debate is that targeted advertising should be banned. We, the negative team, firmly believe this statement is false. As our first speaker has already outlined, targeted advertising is about individual choice and enhancing personal online experiences. Building upon these foundational points, I will talk to you about two critical areas: the support for free online services and the impact this change would have on small businesses. Before I begin, I'd like to address and correct some clear weaknesses in the arguments presented by the second affirmative speaker. The second affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that targeted advertising highlights the vulnerable, such as people who can't see or struggle with literacy. However, this isn't true, as the majority of targeted advertising is visual, so it's not very many words. Now to my first point, that many online platforms and services we use daily are free because they are funded by advertising revenue. This model has improved access to information and services, allowing multitudes of people to benefit from free internet platforms. According to a report done by the Interactive Advertising Bureau, targeted advertising contributes to over 80% of the revenue for online platforms, enabling companies like Google, Facebook and YouTube to offer their services at no cost to users. As highlighted by the Centre of Democracy and Technology, the accessibility for free online content has been crucial for educational resources, social connectivity and the public discourse, particularly for marginalised communities. According to the Oxford University Institute, banning targeted marketing could create technology barriers for lower income individuals who cannot afford to pay these services. This would reduce accessibility and widen the digital divide. Thus, the effects of targeted advertising are consistently beneficial in maintaining a free and open internet. My second point is that targeted advertising also provides opportunities for small businesses to remain competitive and financially viable. According to the Small Businesses Council of Australia, small businesses account for 33% of all economic activity and are the backbone of our economy. Targeted advertising is a crucial tool for these businesses to thrive in a competitive marketplace. Unlike large corporations with substantial marketing budgets, small businesses have limited resources. Targeted advertising levels the playing field, allowing them to reach specific audiences who are more likely to be interested in their products or services. So, for example, a local handmade jewellery store can target ads to people with interest in artisan goods, ensuring that the marketing dollars are spent effectively and efficiently. As noted by the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Council, digital advertising enables small businesses to directly engage with customers, building brand loyalty and offering personal promotions that large corporations may overlook. This not only helps these businesses grow, but also stimulates the economy by creating jobs and fostering innovation. Banning targeted advertising would put small businesses at a significant disadvantage. So, Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, targeted advertising plays a pivotal role in empowering small businesses and supporting free online services. By banning targeted advertising, we risk harming small businesses, reducing innovation and limiting access to essential online services. And as Congressman Donald McCross once said, small businesses are the backbone of our economy and the cornerstones of our communities. Thank you.
I call upon the third affirmative speaker for your tips.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for tonight's debate is that targeted advertisement should be banned. And as the third speaker from the affirmative team, I will rebut and sum up our team case. Your second speaker has tried to tell you that consumers have control over their data and choices. This statement is misleading. The consent mechanisms are often designed to nudge consumers into consenting to data collection. I checked the terms and conditions of TikTok, a social media app particularly riddled with targeted advertisement, and it was exactly 1,615 words, or 9,884 characters, before they disclosed information about targeted advertising. 1,600 words? That's longer than the average Year 12 essay. Let's be honest, no one will read all of that. They'll blindly click and agree on the terms and conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, let us set this straight. Transparency alone does not equate to fairness, but rather shifts the blame on the consumers who may lack the capacity to protect themselves from this manipulation. The first speaker from the negative team has argued that targeted ads level the playing field for small businesses. However, this practice is inherently unfair because it disproportionately benefits larger companies with more resources. Big corporations can leverage vast amounts of data to outbid smaller competitors, creating unbearable competition and harming smaller businesses. For example, a comprehensive study by JP Morgan Chase Institute revealed that Amazon's access to extensive customer data and advanced logistics capabilities enables it to undercut the prices of local retailers by an average of 15%. This pricing advantage has led to the closure of numerous small businesses across the United States, significantly impacting local economies and contributing to job losses. The first speaker from the negative team has tried to argue that targeted ads give consumers a sense of control by showing relevant ads. A 2020 report by Consumer Reports found that 60% of users are uncomfortable with the idea of targeted ads based on their online behaviour, feeling that it invades their privacy and makes them feel constantly monitored. This sense of intrusion can lead to a negative user experience where the perceived benefits of personalisation are overshadowed by concerns over privacy. Targeted ads also have the potential to manipulate consumer behaviour by limiting genuine choice. A study by Northeastern University in 2021 found that 73% of participants felt that targeted ads reinforced their existing preferences, reducing their exposure to diverse products and ideas. This filtered reality can stifle innovation and limit consumer empowerment by narrowing the range of options presented to our users. The first speaker from the negative team has tried to tell you that this is wrong, as some terms can be misleading or use vague language that obscures the true nature of data collection practices. For example, a choice of survey revealed that 94% of Australians believe their companies should be required to make their privacy policies clearer and easier to understand. This statistic underscores the widespread concern that current terms and conditions do not provide users with a transparent or straightforward understanding of how their data will be collected, used and shared. As a result, users may unknowingly agree to practices that compromise their privacy, questioning the fairness and validity of such agreements. Our first speaker highlighted how advertising can exploit children for entertainment, with a 20% rate of these cases involving parental manipulation, as reported by StopChildExploitation.org. She also pointed out how advertising reinforces harmful gender stereotypes and triggers disorders like body dysmorphia, anxiety, and clinical depression. Consider the impact on a child actor, some young as 8 years old, who are exposed to the world through social media. They suffer from severe body dysmorphia and depression due to the exploitation in their careers. Do you know what that's like? No, but they do. This must end immediately. Most of these issues stem from social media campaigns targeting younger viewers. We must focus on stricter regulations to protect those who are at risk. Our second speaker of thought discussed how advertising impacts vulnerable populations such as those with low literacy or learning difficulties. These individuals often rely on ads for decision making, but advertising exploit this dependence, leading them to financial strain. She also highlighted how ads are designed to capture our attention. Thank you.
negative speaker, Lila Harris.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for tonight's debate is that targeted advertisement should be banned, in which we, the negative team, wholeheartedly believe this statement is false. I will now highlight the flaws in my opposition's case. The first speaker has tried to tell you that targeted ads reinforce stereotypes. However, this argument overlooks the flexibility and adaptability of modern advertising. According to a study by Nielsen, 86% of consumers prefer to see ads that are tailored towards their personal interest, rather than ones based on broader demographic assumptions. This means that if a woman is interested in men's clothing, or if a female is interested in men's clothing, targeted ads will reflect those interests, not gender-based stereotypes. In fact, by focusing on user behaviour and preferences, targeted ads have the potential to break down these stereotypes rather than reinforce them. The first speaker has also claimed that targeted advertisement exploits younger children. However, this is not just targeted advertisement. For an example, TV programs or movies often hire young children. Additionally, advertisement in general also hires young children, such as baby brands. Moreover, she used the example of Huggies, but these babies are representing Huggies, not the targeted advertising. So why ban targeted advertising over exploiting children when multiple industries do this? The second speaker has claimed that targeted ads are overwhelming for consumers, but this overlooks the reality of modern advertising. According to Marketing Drive, targeted ads are actually less overwhelming than generic ones because they are more relevant to the user. Think about it. How frustrating is it to be bombarded with ads that you simply have no interest in? A study by Gartner reinforces this, showing that consumers are more likely to engage with ads that are tailored towards their personal interests and needs. Generic ads simply disrupt the user experience with irrelevant content, making them far more annoying. Moreover, if someone finds these targeted ads overwhelming, they can easily adjust this in their settings. As Google Help points out, users can simply go into My Ad Center, select on or off next to personalized ads, and confirm their selection. Therefore, why complain about finding targeted ads overwhelming when you can simply turn them off? The second speaker has attempted to inform you that targeted ads put people off task. However, this is simply a flawed argument. Targeted ads are designed to show users content that is relevant and interesting to them, not distract them. Rather than being distracting, these ads can enhance the user experience by providing content that is useful and interesting to them. For example, someone who's been searching for a new pair of running shoes might appreciate seeing shoe sales or discounts. According to research by Accutun, 91% of consumers are more likely to shop with brands that have relevant offers and recommendations. This shows that users genuinely prefer personalised content, including targeted ads, as it aligns with their interests and needs. Therefore, rather than being distracting, these ads can actually improve the user experience by presenting useful information. So, to sum up, our negative team, our first speaker, Amelia, discussed the problem of targeted advertising is being over-exaggerated, as according to Data and Marketing Association, 83% of customers are willing to share their data to enable a personalised experience because the data is simply not harming anybody. Moreover, she highlighted how targeted ads enhance the user online experience by saving time and money. Our second speaker spoke to you about how targeted advertising is essential for small businesses to remain competitive, as it allows them to effectively reach specific audiences with limited resources, fostering economic growth and innovation. Additionally, targeted advertising supports free online services by generating revenue for platforms like Google and Facebook, making information and services accessible to all. Would you really want to have to pay for your favourite apps? So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we, the negative team, unquestionably believe that targeted advertising shouldn't be banned. As Andrew Lewis once said, targeted advertising is more efficient. They deliver what customers actually want to see.